Stop killing your expensive whiskey by turning it into a watery mess. Most bourbons fall apart on ice, but today I'm revealing the top 5 American bourbons built to handle the chill. From a silky single-barrel legend to a $30 Ice King that puts luxury bottles to shame, these are the only pours that actually get better as the ice melts. If you want to stop wasting money and start drinking better, smash that like button and subscribe now. Let's dive into number 5, the bottle that redefines smooth. 5. Blanton Single Barrel, $70 to $90. Coming in at top 5 is the legendary Blanton Single Barrel, the bourbon that arguably started the modern super premium craze, typically retailing between $70 to $90. Bottled at 93 proof, 46.5% ABV, this is a high rye mash bill known for its iconic horse and jockey stopper, and a flavor profile that is remarkably rounded, featuring notes of citrus, dried fruits, honey, and a delicate touch of spice. The reason Blanton's holds the midpoint of our list is its incredible texture when chilled. At 93 proof, it sits in the sweet spot, just strong enough to withstand some dilution without immediately falling apart. When poured over a large ice sphere, the cold temperature suppresses the initial ethanol heat, allowing the citrus and honeyed sweetness to step into the spotlight. As the ice slowly melts, the additional water helps to unlock the aromatic baking spices like nutmeg and cinnamon that can sometimes be masked when sipped neat. It doesn't rank higher simply because of its price and single-barrel nature. Many enthusiasts feel that at nearly $100, adding ice to such a curated, balanced spirit is a bit like putting ice in a fine wine. It's delicious, but you might be numbing the very nuances you paid a premium for. However, for those who love a cold, luxurious glass of whiskey, Blanton's on the Rocks is an undeniably silky, decadent experience that proves why it remains a cult favorite. 4. Woodford Reserve, $40 to $55. Taking the top 4 spot is the sophisticated and reliable Woodford Reserve, a true staple of the Kentucky Derby, and a bourbon that feels almost engineered for the on-the-rocks experience, typically priced between $40 to $55. Bottled at 90.4 proof, 45.2% ABV, Woodford Reserve is distinct because of its unique triple distillations process and high rye mash bill, which creates a heavy and chewy spirit, packed with over 200 detectable flavor notes. The reason it ranks so high is its exceptional structural integrity. It possesses a rich, oily mouthfeel that coats the palate and refuses to thin out immediately when ice is added. Its profile is a dense tapestry of dried fruit, cocoa, toasted nuts, and baking spices like cinnamon and nutmeg. When poured over ice, the cooling effect tempers the oaky tannins, allowing the sweeter notes of butterscotch and orange zest to push through. Even as the ice begins to melt, the bold, spicy sweet foundation of Woodford Reserve remains intact, providing a consistent flavor from the first sip to the last. It is widely considered the gold standard for a chilled bourbon because it is approachable yet complex enough to keep an enthusiast engaged. It doesn't just survive the ice, it welcomes it, transforming into a silky, dessert-like dram that is arguably one of the most refreshing ways to enjoy premium American whiskey. 3. Elijah Craig, small batch, $35 to $50. Securing the top 3 spot is the bold and oak-forward Elijah Craig small batch, a true heavyweight in the world of bourbon that typically retails between $35 to $50. Bottled at a robust 94 proof, 47% ABV, this bourbon is the legacy of the man often credited as the father of bourbon, and it carries that heritage with a profile defined by deep charred oak, warm baking spices, and rich caramel. The reason it breaks into the top 3 for on-the-rocks drinking is its immense structural girth. Because Elijah Craig is aged in level 4 alligator char barrels, it possesses a massive amount of wood sugar and tannin that creates a dense, syrupy mouthfeel. When you pour this over ice, the cold temperature acts like a key, unlocking the heavy oak gate to reveal hidden layers of mint, green apple, and creamy vanilla that can sometimes be overshadowed by the wood when sipped neat. At 94 proof, it has the muscle to stand up to melting ice. As the water integrates, the bourbon doesn't just get thinner, it gets smoother, transforming the intense spicy oak into a mellow, toasted marshmallow finish. It is a bourbon that truly evolves in the glass, proving that a little bit of water and a lot of cold can turn a rugged, woody spirit into a sophisticated and refreshing masterpiece. 2. Knob Creek 9-year, $45 to $60. Claiming the top 2 spot is the powerhouse Knob Creek 9-year, a bourbon that is practically built for a glass full of ice, typically retailing between $45 to $60. As part of Jim Beam's small batch collection, this expression is bottled at a formidable 100 proof, 50% ABV, and aged for a full 9 years, resulting in a pre-prohibition style bourbon that is big, bold, and unapologetically flavorful. The reason Knob Creek is a superstar on the rocks is its raw muscle. At 100 proof, it possesses a massive alcohol armor that protects its flavor profile from being diluted by melting ice. Its signature profile is deeply nutty think-toasted walnuts and peanut brittle mixed with heavy charred oak and dark chocolate. When you pour this over ice, the cold temperature tames the initial hug of the 50% alcohol, allowing the rich, oily sweetness of maple syrup and vanilla to expand. Even as the ice melts significantly, Knob Creek 9-year refuses to turn watery. Instead, it simply mellows into a creamy, decadent dram that retains its thick mouthfeel and spicy finish. It is the perfect choice for someone who wants a tough bourbon that can handle a lot of ice and a long conversation without losing its soul. It doesn't just survive the melt, it dominates it. 1. Wild Turkey 101, $25 to $35. Claiming the top 1 spot as the undisputed king of the rocks is the legendary Wild Turkey 101, a bourbon that offers the single best price-to-performance ratio in the entire industry, typically retailing for a modest $25 to $35. Bottled at a punchy 101 proof, 50.5% ABV, and aged for 6 to 8 years, this high-rye bourbon is famous for its kick, a bold, spicy, and uncompromising profile of deep cinnamon, heavy charred oak, orange zest, and rich caramel. The reason Wild Turkey 101 takes the crown is its absolute invincibility against ice. At 101 proof, it possesses a massive flavor backbone that refuses to be diluted. While other bourbons might fade as the ice melts, the bird only gets better. The cold temperature acts as a master key, taming the initial spicy heat of the high proof and unlocking a hidden, creamy sweetness that is often tucked behind the alcohol. As the water from the melting ice integrates, the bourbon undergoes a stunning transformation. The sharp rye spice mellows into a velvety, honeyed maple finish, without ever losing its thick, oily mouthfeel. It is a bourbon that demands respect, standing its ground from the first chilled sip to the very last drop in the glass. For anyone who loves their whiskey cold but refuses to compromise on intensity, Wild Turkey 101 is the ultimate ice-proof masterpiece that proves you don't need to spend $100 to have the best on-the-rocks experience in the world. Whether you're looking for a budget-friendly ice crusher like Wild Turkey 101 or a slow-melting masterpiece like Blanton's Single Barrel, there is no wrong way to enjoy your bourbon as long as you have the right bottle in your glass. Finding the perfect balance between chill and flavor is a journey, and we hope this ranking helps you skip the watery disappointments and head straight for the ice-proof legends. Every palate is different, so the best way to find your personal king of the rocks is to start pouring and start tasting. Thanks for watching.